Hey everybody, this is a short live stream. The Warriors lost to the Clippers, and in disappointing fashion, to say the least. In a game five that I think everybody in the universe thought the Warriors are going to close out and then get ready to face the Houston Space Rockets, or as they're actually known, the Houston Rockets, right? But hey, that didn't happen. Instead of that not happening, what did happen? Well, the Rockets had their statement to make, and it is basically this: that you know what, we are going to beat you to the punch. We're going to be more aggressive than you are, Warriors. We're going to outplay you when it matters the most, and our bench is going to score and a lot, and yours isn't, and that's that, and that's what happened. I'm not even going to go to the stats to look at it because I don't need stats to tell me that the Warriors just plainly lost their nerve tonight. They, this team can't pull it together, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, to turn on that killer instinct that caused previous Warrior championship teams to do what we're, I think, all too accustomed to seeing them do, which is dispatch the the enemy, efficiently. When they have the enemy down by 24, the enemy stays down by 24. When they come back to tie or take the lead is taken, and it's never relinquished again. That hasn't happened. This series is, I hate to say it, it's a microcosm of the Warriors season and how they played. And now they're up 3-2, which is, roughly the percentage in terms of games that they've won, right? And a little worse than that, but then there's this possibility they could slip and find themselves in a 3-3 tie with a game 7 to play. Wow. At Oracle. And since the Clippers have beaten them twice at Oracle in this stretch, they're basically coming to a position where they have made the Clippers the home team in Oakland. And so how do you fix it? I mean, how do you get the Warriors going? My thought is there has to be a return to the Warriors pass shoot 3 ball. And they really have to practice their threes because they're missing them too often. They're going cold. I mean, you can hear it. Bong, bong, bong. And it's not working for them, okay? Defensively, they simply need to get rebounds. It's that simple. They got to get rebounds and second shots. Rebounds and second shots. They can't let Patrick Beverley out-rebound them. They have to box him out efficiently. And there you go. I make it sound simple. It's not. But it's about the psyche, And I don't like it when they lost. You go down and they're sulking, they're walking like, oh. And the reason they're sulking is because it's like the Warriors themselves have become spectators have become viewers of their own movie, right? And except that you don't know the outcome. You're rooting for the fellow in the cowboy hat to win, but you don't quite know what the fellow in the cowboy hat's going to do. And so you're excited when he wins, and you're sad when he loses. Except here's the news. The fellow in the cowboy hat is you, the Warriors, right? So you're watching yourself not capable of engineering a win and seemingly powerless to do anything about it. That's how they looked. And so when they realized, hey, look, the magic someone that they thought was going to pull through didn't pull through, they all collectively hung their heads. That's what they did, you know? Wow. That's exactly what they did. So anyway, the Warriors lost. And it's, I believe the next game is Saturday in Los Angeles. And they just might win that one. But, and I think they will win that one. But we'll have to see. Now, let's talk about happier things. Happier news. Zennie62 Media at the NFL Draft. My coverage starts... I've got all my videos up for today, so I have to dump those. I am on the red carpet. Now, what is that? That means that the NFL has its NFL draft version of the Oscars red carpet. And you treat the players as the celebrities they are. They get dressed up in nice tuxedos and dress shoes and come out with their family and do interviews. 2 minutes per person. And then you have other celebrities, like I understand celebrities from American Idol may be there. You have, of course, ABC is covering this. And so that means the Good Morning America team. That means Robin Roberts. That means Michael Strahan. It also should mean, I would guess, George Stephanopoulos. It means the College Game Day people. Okay. Hey, John Akala, how you doing? So it means all of those folks will be on the red carpet, and ostensibly I'll get a chance to interview them. So am I excited? Yes, I'm excited for my company. We're back, if we ever left. Well, we never really left because we were credentialed last year. I just couldn't go because Mom needed my help, and that's that. But we're back, and Nashville's done an incredible job of hosting the draft. The NFL Draft Town, which I made a live stream of here on Zennie62. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Is the largest one I've ever seen, and you can actually go to Zennie62 and you can type NFL Draft Town. And you can see all the vlogs that I've made of all the NFL draft towns that I've attended since the concept started. Okay, and which begs the question, when did it start? It started with Chicago in 2015, and then it continued with Philadelphia. Well, in 2017, Chicago had it for 2 years, 15 and 16, and did a buffo job. Then it went to Dallas. They had a draft town around Arlington Stadium. And this year, the draft town is basically, it's downtown Nashville. It's the area where the Hard Rock Cafe is on the riverfront opposite the stadium. And it's on stadium side, opposite the downtown waterfront, and it's in the downtown waterfront as well. It's really cool. It's like I said, it's an enormous setup. And will Nashville benefit from it? Yeah. Everybody's out and about. It's the question is, are the people that they're attracting people that they would attract normally anyway? And I think the answer is no. John Acosta says, your feeling is the Raiders will trade up or down or stay put at 4. My feeling right now is I don't know. I think, and the reason I don't is because the Raiders do, they have too many reasons to move in either direction, okay? So I don't have a firm grip on what they're going to do. It makes a lot of sense for them to, it makes a great deal of sense for them to stay put and develop, there's a new term floating around, foundation players, right? But because they can actually stay put at 4 and then 24 and 27 and get a great cornerstone group for their defense, you know? I mean, they could have 2 defensive ends and a top flight linebacker. They could have Devin White I think he'll be around at 4. They could have Devin White, maybe. I think they can have Devin White. And then they could have two other defensive ends that are, that are a fantastic talent down in those lower areas. I'm not as sold on Quinnen Williams as others are, especially since I've interviewed him, because as a guy who's covered the NFL for a long time, he strikes me as the kind of guy that you can get a hat on a hat, and you can hold his pads and push and control. All right. John says, but you just don't think they'll keep all 3 first-round picks, right? I think it's not likely that they do. Okay, but I'm not certain on it. I mean, I'm sorry. I am not. I say this again. I say this, and I'll say this again. I'm not into predicting, because when you predict, it becomes, and this is a sad statement in our society. It becomes whether or not a person was right or wrong, as opposed to understanding why something was done. Okay? And so I'm more into why will they do what they will do? All right? Why will they do what they will do? All right? Now, I said that earlier on, I did say that there is every reason, and I'll say this again, but I reserve the right to change my mind, of course, that the pressures of financing in Las Vegas would not, if I were the Raiders, would cause me to want to trade out. It would cause me to want to trade one of those 2 picks and move down, or take 2 of the picks and move up. But in either case, reduce the number of picks that I have in the first round, all right, from 3 to 1. Because financially, it just makes more sense. That's me. Okay. The Raiders may want to roll the dice, but I don't think the Raiders at this point have that kind of money. I mean, look, John, we've got a stadium situation where they have quietly moved back the completion date to mid-September. I mean, it's right there in the documents. And they play this stupid game, the 21st century game of, they play this game of not pointing to it, okay? They play this game of saying it's on schedule. Well, but then they don't tell you that they're changing the schedule. So it's on schedule, but they keep moving the goalpost, okay? So originally they had the stadium construction ending in August, then mid-August, and then very quietly starting in December, it turned to mid-September, into just the starting part of September. And then by February 28th, it was mid-September. So over the course of a period from November of last year to February 28th, that thing moved backward in terms of start-finish date 1 full month. And think about where the stadium has gone in total, all right? It has gone from, originally it was supposed to be finished June. So from June to July to August to September. All right, we moved back 4 months, folks. Again, we moved back 4 months, okay? Have you seen the newspapers report that? No, because they're newspapers. Nobody reads a paper anymore. Let me tell you, all right, how, let me explain to you how dire the media situation is today. You ever heard of SB Nation? Anybody out there ever heard of SB Nation? Curious. Wait, just let me know. You ever heard of SB Nation? They have a Raider blog and everything. You ever heard of them? Nobody's heard of them? Seriously? Okay. You never heard of SB Nation? I'll inform you of this. SB Nation was to send a crew of people to send a crew of people to to, excuse me, hate when that happens. SB Nation was to send a crew of people to Nashville. And they didn't because, all right, because SB Nation could not find a single sponsor for the NFL draft coverage. You hear what I'm saying? So there were something like, I think 10 to 13 media people that I think the word was they didn't make the trip because there was no money. Do you hear what I'm saying? And that's SB Nation. I heard that today. Okay. You hear what I'm saying? That's the state of media today. That's the state of media today. So it's kind, that's where we're at. So it's not, for those people who may be wishing that I go away, hey, you know what? Where are you going to turn? You might do yourself a better job by helping me improve this because I have the access and obviously I have the resources to be there. I just want to build on them. And I have a different formula, a different way. That has to do more with doing one thing that then pays for another thing rather than expecting another thing to pay for itself. There's I think a misunderstanding of how these media efforts are supposed to pay for themselves in the modern age, and how to gain sponsors. But if you're looking to think that you're going to make money off the traffic from the videos and the articles here and the way, and then have it done on a per person basis, you're nuts. Because there's nothing here absent some mishap, which you don't want to have happen, that's going to produce enough views to cause that. That's why TMZ makes money, because they capitalize on people making mistakes. And everyone wants to see someone take a fall, literally. Oh, he fell on the sidewalk, right? That sort of thing. But yeah, SB Nation is, as I understand, on its last legs. They were riding high for a while, but, couldn't get a single sponsor. Man, couldn't get a single sponsor. Something else. So, anyway, I'm at Nordic Carpet. I'm really excited with my far less expensive form of media. And I did talk to Alabama running back Josh Jacobs about the possibility of being drafted by the Raiders now that Marshawn Lynch is retired. And he talked at length about his respect for Marshawn Lynch and specifically said something I completely agree with, that Marshawn Lynch is a lot smarter than people give him credit for. And so I hope John Jacobs does get drafted by the Raiders. I think he would be a fantastic addition that would stabilize the running back core and in a way that looks like an exclamation point. I really believe that. I'm looking forward to. What am I looking forward to? Kyler Murray did not come to the NFL 100 Huddle for 100 event because I was told that he had a family issue. Someone else said it was flight cancellation. In either case, he didn't make it this morning. He should be here by now. Hopefully he is. Or maybe he was actually just signing with the Cardinals and getting out of the way and just didn't want to tell anybody. Whichever the case, he didn't make it. I also interviewed Jody Bosa in a group of reporters, but one reporter, I will not mention, was deliberately steering away from talking about those stupid tweets that Joey had issued, some of which are arguably racist, okay? So I asked him straight out, I said, hey, so can you, can you explain those tweets or words to that effect? The question I asked was basically, why, yeah, what did you expect to get out? I asked him about the tweets, okay, and he said that he says they are what they are. He said people who know me know who I am, okay, that's what he said, and then he made another statement. Or the answer that he gave, because he was trying to just broom it, right? But the answer he gave made another reporter chime in and say, yeah, but what about them? How do you feel about what you did, right? And he said something I thought was really telling. He said that, I'm really misunderstood on social media. People don't know the guy that I am, right? And he said some other words which made me come to the conclusion that, by and large, he made a youthful mistake. Why he felt it was cool to be a conservative or someone bordering on having the appearances of a white supremacist, I don't know. I didn't ask him that. I don't feel it necessary to be hostile to Nick Bosa, because I have had friends who have held controversial conservative positions. I had a friend at UTA who believed that apartheid was okay. He was white. I didn't dump him as a friend. We continued to play pool and hang out. I very calmly explained to him why apartheid was criminal, against the law. And, I proceeded also to beat the heck out of him in pool. I didn't beat the heck out of him. So, as I was getting ready to leave UTA for the summer and then attend University of Texas at Arlington, University of California, Berkeley for my city planning degree in the fall of 1985, he said to me over pool something I'll never forget. He said, I want to thank you for listening to me because you changed my mind. You hear what I'm saying? Think about that. Think about what I told you. It wasn't a tweet. It wasn't a text. It wasn't an email. Okay? It was old. It was simple, old-fashioned conversation. It's today, in this social media and text world, we completely toss away the ability for such reconciliation, because there's something psychologically that works on us when we see something in print that makes us react to the extreme. We hate what we read, or we like what we read, and there's nothing in between. But when you're talking to someone, you have an opportunity to respond back, to have a give and take. That produces a much richer conversation, because then you understand why that person thinks the way they do. In the case of apartheid, my friend was completely ignorant of he didn't really know what apartheid was. The only thing he knew was that it was a conservative Southern thing, and Reagan seemed to be okay with it until Reagan decided it was stupid to be okay with it. All right, and that was the reason. Today, it's far less likely to get that kind of exchange, because people read these things on the black and white, on the pages of social media, and they get pissed off and they choose up sides. And that's it. You're demonized. You're toast. All right? That's bad. Okay. That's just plain bad. So anyway, that's my sermon for today, folks. I am going to get ready for what will be a very exciting NFL draft. Follow me on Twitter, Zennie62. Please bookmark Oakland News Now. And, of course, to catch the live streams, subscribe to Zennie62 on YouTube, because I'm going to have my plans to have live streams, short ones, before the draft starts, and then live streams during the red carpet and during the draft, interspersed with not still, but standard videos uploaded, okay? So I can get more content. I'm excited. All right. Good night, everybody. You have any tips, send me an email. Let's see, any news tips. All right, see ya.